Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer2Buzzer. Alrighty guys, so in the past couple of days we have found out some retirement news going on throughout the NBA and NFL. To get things all started today, we found out the breaking news that 7-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA first team player LaMarcus Aldridge. Now the Brooklyn Nets guys retiring after a 15-year incredible NBA career. Guys, we've seen him play throughout the San Antonio Spurs with Greg Popovich's system, the Portland Trail Blazers, and now recently, just a month ago, coming in to the Brooklyn Nets organization. He said that early this Sunday, he felt some irregular heartbeats coming out after the Los Angeles Lakers games, and he ultimately decided to put his health and family before the game of ball he's given his life to for the past 15 years. Our thoughts on Mr. Aldridge going out like this?
As what he should do is, I think at this point in his career, I think that was a smart move. There's no way you should risk something like that. I mean, he's played, as you said, Rayon, he's played 15 long successful years in the NBA, which is a great feat, and he's accomplished a lot. I think he's definitely going to be a future Hall of Famer. The resume speaks for itself. But I don't think he should risk anything. I think this is the right call that him and his family made. Obviously, with the regular heartbeat, things like that happen. You don't want to keep playing, especially at a level the NBA plays in. Like always, every 2-3 days, go playing your heart out and playing. He probably played at least 30, 35 minutes every single game. That's too much at his age, I think. And that's could have been better with him, but I think he made the right call for his health.
Yeah, congratulations to Aldridge for a great career. It's honestly amazing to see what this guy was able to do over his 15 years. And, the only thing he's really missing is a ring. And if the Nets happen to win one this year, I think they'd be gracious enough to grant him for his 3 weeks of service that they did give. He was an important piece for those 3 weeks, I guess. But, speaking of Aldridge's career, those 5 All-NBA teams, 7 All-Star games, that should be more than enough to get him in the Basketball Hall of Fame. We already know it's not that difficult to get in. He might not be first ballot, but he'll definitely get in at some point. It's going to be exciting to see him do that in a few years.
For sure, guys. I think it was awesome seeing him play for the Spurs that early on. He was quite the transition piece. We talked about it before. Seeing Tim Duncan going to LaMarcus Aldridge, it was nice seeing him play that system under Greg Popovich. And ultimately the Blazers as well. He had a heck of a career. I think that we were all very surprised at the news. It came very suddenly. But it's something, I think a decade ago, he told it came out that he had white Parkinson's syndrome, something to do with irregular heartbeats. And I guess the condition has worsened to an extent where this decision came about. We all hate to see, a condition like this affect the player's status in their respective sports league. But I guess it's the right move, and I think that there should be no question in the coming years that LaMarcus Aldridge is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Alrighty, guys, now moving across sports leagues, going to the NFL, where we recently found out the news that Patriots wide receiver for the past 12 seasons, guys, Julian Edelman, announcing his retirement from the game of football. Now, guys, Julian Edelman, we've all seen coming in as a 7th-round pick, 290-something, and making the career he's had. 3 Super Bowl championships, 1 Super Bowl Finals MVP. We saw what him and Brady did in down in New England, and what he's continued to do even when Brady left. Our thoughts on this news?
First, I just want to give credit to Julian Edelman. Yeah, he's a great receiver, especially in the playoffs. That's where he shines the most. Obviously, winning three Super Bowls with Tom Brady, getting Super Bowl MVP for one of those wins is a great feat, and he accomplished a lot. But, I think the question is also, does he deserve to go in the Hall of Fame? Does he deserve to be inducted in the Hall of Fame? And I'm not trying to describe him or anything. I think he will, but I don't know if he deserves it just based off his regular season stats. And he's never been he's never been a Pro Bowler. He's never been on an All Pro team. He's only had a couple seasons over 1,000 receiving yards. So regular season, not the best performer. Playoffs, he's an amazing receiver, key asset on the Patriots team. That's why they won so many Super Bowls with Tom Brady. So as far as legacy, I think he may get in, but I don't think he deserves it.
I think the perfect way to respect Edelman's legacy is by asking the question, does he deserve to get in? He may not get in. I don't think he personally deserves to get in. We know that Pro Football Hall of Fame has a very high standard for football players. And so Edelman doesn't reach the pedigree and caliber that all these other players that have been inducted reach. And so for me, just asking the question is the perfect way to describe his career. He's there. He's almost there, but he's just not good enough to get in. I think, we should just leave it at that as will Julian Edelman be a Hall of Famer? We'll have to see in the coming years, but I don't think so.
I think one of those things that making the Hall of Fame in the NFL is a much more difficult task to accomplish in the NBA. And I think it's because the sample size, you have so many more players in the NFL, so many players who are so capable and deserving. It's such a limited amount of spots. It's crazy to think who can make it and who cannot. Now, Julian Edelman, credit where credit's due, 12 seasons, heck of a career. I'll be like you mentioned, regular season, he's been on and off there, but the off season is where we see him. I mean, we don't have to look any further than that 28-3 comeback, that pizza catch he made barely, where nothing could fit below. I think that just tones it off. He's, I think, number 2 in all-time receptions, just behind Jerry Rice in the playoffs. And aside from the regular season, that playoffs, I think, means a lot. The way he steps up during high-pressure moments, that signifies and shows you who's a real baller on and off the court. Now, as in terms of the Hall of Fame, I think it's going to be very, very close. Like we said, the NFL is so competitive. And I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make it because of how many players we've seen make it and not make it at the end of the day. So, Edelman, great career, and going to be interesting to see if he captures the Hall of Fame.
There's one also important thing to note about Edelman. Former teammate and current Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski has also said there's a chance he returns. Gronk did it after taking a year off. He returned to play with Tom Brady. Everyone wants to play with the GOAT. Everyone wants to play with Tom Brady. Maybe in a year we could see Edelman returning back to the NFL.
I think it's a possibility. I don't know if it's likely, but at this point, looking at what you said, Harsh, with Gronk coming out of retirement, I think anything's possible if players want to play with Tom Brady. So,
yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. And I think Julian Edelman wouldn't be coming out for, the game. I think he'd be more coming out just for the culture. Him, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, the opportunity to really link with his boys, I think that would be something he wouldn't pass upon. And even if he's playing a game here and there, I think that, honestly, in today's NFL, it's totally possible. Alrighty, guys, well, those are our thoughts on these big-time retirements going on throughout the NBA and NFL. As always, guys, be sure to like button, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on these players going out of their respective leagues. Guys, as always, take care. Catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.